Hello, fabulous friends, fans, and superstars. Welcome to Synchronicity Web TV. I am your host, Nadiya Shah, and this is your moment of synchronicity. Well, I'm so excited to celebrate with you today, Sharri Keller. Now, Sharri is somebody who is a herbalist and an astrologer, and she has this amazing way of bringing the two together. And in fact, this is going to be part of what she is going to bring to the next speaker series taking place November 2025 over at synchronicityuniversity.com. As this is publishing, you've got just a little time left to choose your tuition rate, as low as just $5 a class, to learn from Sharri and these other incredible astrologers. We're going to have so much to talk about here. Sharri, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Me too. I'm so happy that you're here. I would love to take it a little bit of a step back because this is really the first time that we are talking, and I'd love to just learn more about you. So I would love to know, like, how did you find your way to astrology? Like, what was that journey like to astrology? What called you to it? Yeah, tell me a little bit about the journey to this point in terms of your astrological practice.
Yes. So I first started studying plant medicine in 2015. And as I started studying plants and doing different apprenticeships, I was introduced to this concept of astroherbalism through Seja Popham's course. And that piqued my interest. I was like, oh, what is this astrology thing? As you know, as I mentioned, I was a little bit skeptical of it because I always thought, oh, I can relate to all the sun signs. And it wasn't until I learned you have to look at all the planets and look at it holistically that you can really get a sense. And that really resonated deeply. And the more I kept learning, um, I followed the path deeper. So I love traveling and I love learning. So I put it out to the universe like, I want to go on some kind of a trip and learn whether it's herbalism or astrology, and just kind of had my antennas up. And then I heard Maurice Fernandez speaking on a podcast about this trip in Mexico, of which you were there. And so that was my first astrology workshop that I went to, which was very special and and after that workshop in Mexico, I just, started studying with Maurice and, yeah, through evolutionary astrology, and really got a strong foundation there, and kind of stopped studying plants for a little bit and then came back to it after, and just I feel like I went 4 years hard in herbalism and then 4 years hard in astrology, and now I'm at this point of like weaving them all together. And to me it's all about just orienting myself in time and space, paying attention to my environment, paying attention to the stars, what's going on inside me, and really cultivating that sense of belonging and understanding and relationship, like relationship to life, relationship to the plants that are in season, because there's only a short window of life for these like plants, blossom, or that you'd want to harvest them, and same with the seasons of our life. The one constant is change, and being awake for it. hmm
Wow, yeah, being awake for it, right? That's about being aware, being awake
hmm
for ourselves and to what it is we're called towards. And I love how you were able to sort of trust that journey towards
hmm
what felt like it was of interest to you, what took you one place, what took you another place as well.
hmm
And yes, we did meet in 2019. And I
hmm
met you because of Maurice Fernandez, and we love Maurice Fernandez so much. I mean, he's the real deal, as I say. He really is the real deal. There's a very good reason that he's one of the leading astrologers in the world, but really at the top of, the leading evolutionary astrologers in the world. Spent
Yeah.
a little bit of time with him, and it's so obvious why. I mean, he just really knows his stuff and he embodies it that much more fully. So how lovely. I met you through
hmm
him and you were a
hmm
student of his, but you also found your way to bring these different threads sort of together, if you will. So yes, we met at Shishim. That was a lot
Yes.
of fun. Yeah.
hmm
And so just side note, because you had a chance to connect with all these astrologers, including him and me, um, in um, in Shishim, Mexico.
hmm
And I do want to add, we had Brett Gemini there and Ursula Stockter. So all really incredible astrologers who were part of this larger event. And
hmm
did you have a chance, side note, to explore Mexico at all? Because I don't know if you know, but I lived in Mexico for 10 years and I love the place. I love the energy. I feel such a strong connection and dedication to it. And so, did you have a chance to explore it all, Mexico, while you were out there?
I did a little bit there, but more so I came at a different time, supported a vision quest at the Ahuasteca Mountains. And so I spent more time there. And then I also did a herbal retreat in Mexico, which was such a gift. And yeah, at Nichim Otanil from this beautiful grandmother who, passed, had so much knowledge to share. And one of the main nuggets that she shared, because she had so much energy, and not like busy energy, but like grounded, like I have so much a wealth of knowledge that I don't want to die with or pass with. And one of the things she shared, before you give any herbal medicine, like do the ancestral healing work. 95% of illness is more emotionally related. So like how can you um tend to those things, and for that there's obviously you could do ceremony, dream work, different plant medicines and flower essences and all that to bring that some of that deeper healing out to work with. Healing is so multifaceted. It's not, because herbalism can be similar to allopathic where you just take this for this, but there's often deeper rooted things going on. Hmm.
Isn't that interesting? It's true. Like, there's so many layers to healing, but also layers in which these issues show up. And so there's,
Hmm.
as you were saying, the body, mind, spirit, right? There's the
Hmm.
physical way in which some of these different things might manifest for us. Whether it is things in our astrology chart, whether it is ways in which we might not be in balance, but having this like multi-pronged approach helps us so much. And so, as part of that, where do you see astrology fitting into that larger sense of healing?
Yeah. Well, one, I think just understanding your birth chart or just having an idea of your cosmic makeup or like your soul affinities and your shadows and your gifts, um, just through that awareness. So, like if one has a lot of air in their chart or could be more restless, nervousness, paying attention to that inclination. So you might want to take more nerving herbs. And how are you with sleeping, or whether it's breath work or skull cap or blue vervain, whatever it is that you need to work with you. So knowing yourself, one, and then two, paying attention to the transits that are coming up. So if you are having like a Saturn or a Capricorn transit coming up, maybe you do want to do some more strengthening herbs, or um, for your teeth, or making sure you take care of your gums. There's certain things you could do, certain plants you can work with. And yeah, and with Uranus too, there can be a lot of excitement and um, keeping you on your edge, or or it could bring on more spasms. So there's different antispasmodic herbs. There's all kinds of ways to go about working with herbs in astrology. But knowing your chart, anticipating the transits, and setting yourself up for success. And those are the two main ways that I really enjoy working with it and helping people like through their chart. Because too, um, if you have a moon conjunct Saturn, there might be a slower processing, or a harder time processing emotions. That potentially doesn't mean, or you're really good at it. It depends on where you're at in your cycle and stage of life. Um, but so you can see this inclination, and um, so you can work with it with herbs, and offering different herbs to support that person, but also like through the astrology can really help people break through, and through understanding and accepting themselves and working with where they're at to bring more awareness and have a better relationship with themselves, and a better relationship with their environment and the plants around them. Mhm.
I know that you have two little kids. How
Mhm.
has it been like practicing astrology and observing your children? I would love to know more about that.
Yes. Um, well, at first, when you look at their charts, I kind of did the whole because I'm a Scorpio, you can do the whole like, oh my gosh, this the worst case scenario thing, but not really. Um, but you could see the whole big picture and try to, there was some anxieties actually with like looking at their charts of what could happen. But then at the same time, it's like, what a beautiful gift that these children are, and that these are the archetypes and patterns that we're working with, and we all love and do the best we can, and like it's this ultimate trust in the universe of surrendering and doing our best and showing up. Um, and so like my daughter's a moon in Virgo, so and she loves to know the plan, and moon obviously relates to the mother as well, and the nurturing processing, and so I'm aware that she likes to know the plan, and I display it to her. And as far as like processing information and digestion and all that stuff, she so far so good, but she kind of anticipates a lot of things, or can be nervous like that. So we do different herbs at night too, like chamomile and whatnot to calm the body. hmm and my son, he he has moon in Aquarius, and yeah, but they both have packed 6 houses, which makes me, like, think, I wonder what's what's going on in there in life. So part of it is just I'm paying attention, doing the best that I can, and, like, supporting them, but they both have a Capricorn in the 6th house in different ways, so and they do have some, like, joint, are more prone to, like, what do you call that, growing pains or the joint stuff, or having a harder time sometimes with their physical, bones and body like that. So
It's interesting because you describe yourself as, or rather, you said, plants and planets speak a shared language, revealing hidden patterns and shapes in our bodies, minds, and spirits. I loved that very poetic way that you put that. Can you
Mhm.
explain that a little bit? Like, how do you understand that shared language and that connection that's there?
Yeah, well, right off the bat, I feel like plants and planets is all about the art of paying attention, like what paying attention to the cycles and the seasons, like finding our place and orienting ourselves in time and space. So a lot of us that are astrologers, we know we could do that, through all the planets, and understanding the energetic weather of what is. But also, it's like to land here on Earth, paying attention to what's in our environment, what is growing, because at different times, different plants are ready to harvest in different seasons, and that's what our bodies need. Usually the plants that grow in our neighborhood, or where we live, are the ones that our bodies actually really need. So just paying attention to, yeah, the plants, and what lights us up or what we're attracted to, and there's so many mysteries within it, like the rose, for example, a simple flower. Before I even knew what wild rose was, it's a 5 petaled flower. I was walking down the street, and I the smell like hooked me. It grabbed my heart, and I was like, what is that? I didn't even know what it was, and I looked, and I followed my nose to the wild rose, and I was like, wow, this plant is so captivating. And it had little thorns on it and all that stuff. And so we have like the rose, and it has a 5 petaled flower, and Venus is makes that 5 pointed shape in the sky, in the stars. And there's that correlation, that thing you can connect the dots with. And then you can take it even further of like, Venus is the ruler of Libra, and then, Mars opposite with the thorns and that protection and love. And, you could take it so far deep into like playing with the axes, and just playing with life, paying attention to what is, and connecting the dots. So yeah, lots of places you can go.
Yeah, I love that. And, I'm reminded of how Plato called it something like sympathetic chains. I could be wrong on that exact way that he described it, but it's this whole idea that everything arises from source. And then from there, it moves through the planets, according to Plato. And then from there, like those chains of energy, they come down and they connect to everything that we know about our world. They all connect back to the planets, which ultimately connects to source. So I love how you were able to put that together. Like, yeah, we don't often think about how if we look at a rose, there's a reason that the ancients thought of it as connected to Venusian energy and
Mm-hmm.
how we might magnetize that or even magnify it as well. So there's one thing about you feeling drawn to it, as you were saying. And it's
Mm-hmm.
another thing of maybe you feel, you look at your chart and you're like, you know what, I really need some more Venus energy right about now. And you
Mm-hmm.
could go to the rose and you could decide how to cultivate its energy for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
It's powerful to consider all the different ways. And so, this idea of a shared language, I love how you put that, and the idea of how it's connected to our bodies, minds, and spirit. And I imagine that given that you work as a herbalist as well, there's this very important connection between herbs and planets. Can you talk about that a little?
Yes. So, everything born under the sun, has a astrological archetype or influence with it. And um, for example, like harvesting St. John's wort around June 25th is the solar time of year, and there's something really special to harvesting it and working with it. And using it as medicine. You don't need to do it at that time, but that's the peak time where the medicine is at its highest point. So just making little correlations like that. But I also like to think of like the Saturn Capricorn archetype as the bones, the teeth, the structure, all that. And then you have the opposite Cancer being the fluids in the stomach and all that. And if you think of in our bones, we have the physical bones, and then inside you have the synovial fluid or the fluids intermixed with it. So just yeah, playing with the axes of understanding, and also like paying attention to where you have Mars or Saturn in your chart in particular, because Mars would be that inflammatory and Saturn would be the constricting. So let's say you are born with Mars in Capricorn, one might be more prone to teeth issues or broken bones or joint issues. So then looking to what herbs can support my joints and my joint health. Are they too inflamed or are they too dried out? Do I need more moistening herbs like marshmallow and um, Solomon seal and whatnot to help with that? Or, yeah, or horsetail to strengthen the structures. There's and in the plants you could see, like for example, horsetail, it has little joints on it, and there's a high silica, so it's more high mineral content. Similar to the Saturnian Capricorn energy. I don't.
And understanding their chart just helps you bring that much more of an understanding of the medicine that'll best serve them in a given moment, whether that's herbs or the emotional medicine, the spiritual medicine, the
Yes.
understanding, the approach that you might take to
Mhm.
be that much more a conduit of healing for them as well.
Mhm. Yeah, it feels really good to know how to take care of your kids like that, and to just have that bird's eye view, and also to have that grounded knowledge of I can go on a walk in the woods and know what plants can support our family, and even outside of astrology, just seasonally,
Mm.
and
Wow.
or on earth.
Yeah,
Mhm.
amazing.
Mhm.
So, once again, everybody, it is Sharri who is coming to Synchronicity University as part of the November 2025 speaker series. As this is publishing, you've got just a couple days left to choose your tuition rate. There's always just $5 a class to learn from Sharri and these other incredible astrologers. Well, Sharri, I'm so looking forward to your class. This connection between herbalism and astrology and helping us to connect with the seasons, helping us to connect with ourselves. It's such an incredible topic. And it seems like you bring so much love to it. You certainly are continuing to learn thanks to your kids and your experiences and your growing practice. So I'm so looking forward to your talk.
Thank you. I'm very excited to share too. And yeah, just how we can care and better show up for ourselves. And I really want to make it practical and not so scary, that we can work with certain herbs and trust our intuition. And yeah, I just want to make it accessible, herbs accessible, and not this like thing, oh, I don't know anything about it, but like you do. And I want to like offer these tools of simplifying and empowering and encouraging and inspiring to work with more plants in your life. Mhm.
I love it. Well, thank you again, Sharri. And thank you, everybody out there, for watching. Until we connect again, take care.
Thank you,
Bye.
Nadia. Bye.